we're going to be looking at solving simultaneous equations. This is finding where two equations intersect with each other, if they do. Earlier on in the year, you solved simultaneous equations using matrices. That will not be used during this chapter, but it is a method that you will need to know for further maths next year. What we will be considering, though, is how to solve simultaneous equations using graphs, how to solve it using algebra, either by substitution or elimination, and then how to also use our calculator. When we were using matrices to solve simultaneous equations, we took a pair of simultaneous equations, we wrote them in matrix form, and we remembered the relationship A times X equals C. So X is equal to the inverse of A times C, which would give us our answer. As I've said, we will not be worrying about this in this particular chapter. We're starting off in exercise 3i by solving simultaneous equations using graphs. Their solution occurs where their graphs cross each other, they intersect. So if we can draw these to scale, the point at which they cross each other is where their solution is. If, though, the straight lines don't cross each other, they are parallel lines, there would be no solution. So looking at this example, y equals 2x plus 5. That straight line has been graphed for us. Y equals minus 3x. That straight line has been graphed for us. We want to find their solution where they intersect. So if we have drawn our graph to scale, I can read off there -1 and 3. So my solution would be the point -1, 3. So x is equal to -1, y is equal to 3. Now I will do this using the calculator. For this example, I'm going to need a graphing page. So I'm just going to start a new document and select Add Graphs. My first equation was y equals 2x plus 5, so I'm just going to type 2x plus 5 here, press enter. It has drawn the graph. Now I want to enter the second graph, so I'm going to press the Tab key. That brings up the box which allows me to type in graphs, and here I'm going to type -3x. So -3x, press return, and you can see my graphs are showing and you can see where they intersect. What I want the calculator to do is to tell me where they intersect. So I'm now going to go to Menu. From Menu, I'm going down to number 6, Analyze Graph. From Analyze Graph, I'm going to select Intersection. Press Enter. You can see a little dotted line with lower bound has come up. I can move that with the arrow keys. Now, what I want to do is move that to some spot which is before where they intersect. So I'm now before. When I've done that, I press Enter. Now it's changed to upper bound, so I move to some spot after the lines cross. You can see it's already written in on my calculator screen, intersection. So press Enter again, And up on my screen, you'll see -1,3. Be aware though, for nice easy values, this will give you the exact answer. If they are much more complicated, it will only give you an approximate answer. So be careful with answers that you get reading off the screen. Here is a summary of what I've just shown you on the calculator. On a graphing screen, type in the equation of your first line. Press enter and type in the equation of your second line. The two graphs are drawn. Then go to Menu 6, Analyze Graph, select Intersection, then move the lower bound so it is before the intersection. Doesn't matter how close it is, press Enter. It will then ask you to do the upper bound, so you move it, the dotted line, to being after the point of intersection. Again, it doesn't matter how close you are, and press enter. You can see the intersection is beginning to show here. When you press enter, it will write the point there, -1,3. There are other ways in which you can enter formulas into your calculator. For instance, you can use templates. Sometimes your graph is not showing on the screen where the point of intersection is, so you will have to change the window. I now have a blank graph page. In your notes, it tells you of another way in which you could enter equations. If the straight line was not in the form of y equals mx plus c, that is going Menu, Graph Entry Edit, and then you can see we have templates here. If we go to Equation Templates, we're dealing with straight lines, so select lines, and y equals mx plus c, Americans call it y equals mx plus b, you can do it from there. If we had something like 3x plus 2y equals 6, press enter and do it there. Now I have a blank screen again. This time, instead of using the template, I'm going to press the delete key. And at the very bottom, we have relation. Select relation and just type in 3x plus 2y equals 12. Press return, and there's another way in which you can put in an equation that is not in the form of y equals mx plus c.